I'm a little taller. I'm low tech, so. Thank you. Do not be afraid. It's not going to take all day. All right? My wife told me before I came here, she said, Hector, she's probably the only one that calls me by that. She says, be short, be relevant, and don't talk about yourself. So I won't. That short part was going to be hard to do. Before I go on script, I want to commend one person who actually did something I mentioned in class, which is astonishing. And that is Six Sigma Black Belt. Stand up, be recognized. Congratulations. For those of you who may not know, and we went over, remember operations management, that class that you all took? I know you did, you hated it. A lot of math, a lot of stuff, yeah. Well, guess what? Six Sigma was an entire chapter of that, and Six Sigma is an entire career field. Black Belt gives him greater opportunity than most, and I congratulate you for taking that challenge. Good job. At the same time, I'd like to go ahead and also recognize a few people that have gone through that wonderful MBA capstone course, and you all have sweated, dreaded, etc. But those of you who actually own a business and did your capstone with that, please stand. Go ahead, stand up. Don't be afraid. All right? Thank you. Let me tell you, one of the core values that at least I gather from Millennium Atlantic University is the spirit of entrepreneurship. And it stems from your father's legacy, the board's legacy, yourself, your family's legacy, the entire institution. It's entrepreneurship. But those of us who work for others, we call that intrapreneurship. And that's the spirit that we have to instill upon us. So with that being said, let me go into the script, because now it's going to be interesting for you. Class of 2019, I'd like to congratulate you on completing your current scholastic journey. Notice I said current, because you're going to keep going. Trust me, it's addictive. Sure. Thank you. You're welcome. I feel important. This is a wonderful time in your life where your family, look to your right and your left, because your families and friends are right there, so they're the ones you have to recognize a lot. These wonderful people called your professors, and of course, our Millennium Atlantic University administration and staff, that without them, we really don't run. Okay? You provided much of your time and great efforts in accomplishing those milestones in your scholastic life. Moreover, your family and friends, for some, your employers, provided you with much support. I know everyone is grateful for this support and the encouragement received when we thought things were getting tough. Oh my God, I'm going to fail the operations management course. Oh my God, I really have to do all this stuff. And then, of course, what's leadership really like? What is that all about? And where's my professor who teaches leadership? There you go, Andy. All right, so it's important for you to understand that you've had a hard journey and you're going to continue doing it. But during your journey with us at Mao, you enjoyed the company of your classmates and learning together the knowledge pertaining to your various curriculum. You interacted with many of our professors who challenged you to achieve greater levels of success that you even thought you could do. Yes, the classes were hard, and you sometimes struggled to pass each, But then isn't journey only interesting when it's full of challenges, opportunities, and gaining knowledge? Because if it was easy, then you paid for nothing. But it is hard. You paid for something that you gained. Lastly, you were also brought together by the relations building of our university and the family and collegiate atmosphere, which is part of the strategic culture. Please note, one of the core fundamentals of this university that's different from others is that this is a family-oriented. We treat you like family. We greet you. We're not snobs. At least I don't think we are. All right? We treat you as family. And that's one of the core concepts of why we're successful. So spread the word. All right? Marketing plug. Spread the word. You're about to receive a parchment that tells the world that you have met the requirements of the university and awarded the degree that you sought. But that's not all that it means. It also means that you're part of a community of graduates from this university that shared in something wonderful and forged bonds that are everlasting. It is important that all understand that being a graduate from Millennium Atlantic University charges you with much responsibility. You have the responsibility to yourselves and the university to achieve the goals you set out to accomplish for the rest of your lives, those actions that benefit you and benefit those who you associate with. Now, I'm going to sidetrack a little bit here because I have to do this. It's in me. All right? For those of you who've had classes with me, especially in operations management and all that, I've always told you that people go after two things. Do you all remember what it was? Go ahead, say it out loud. Yeah, they're correct. It's power and money. I mean, we come up and say, oh, we want to help mankind, and it's true, we do, but you can't help mankind if you don't have the fundamental aspects of being able to do so. How do you get that? Power and money. Don't forget that, all right? I was taught a long time ago when I was a kid. No, it was not my father. It was actually a priest, all right? He taught me one thing. He says, Hector, he's the other person that can actually have called me that, and said, hey, I want you to understand something. Love is wonderful, religion is great, but in modern society, you can't live without cash. And I looked at him and said, this is coming from a priest. Yeah? So I'm going like, what? He just got through doing mass. He just got through giving everybody the host. And he's telling me this. And he takes out a wad of cash. Literally, he pulls out a wad of cash. And I'm going like, oh my God. And he's going like, just remember that, Hector. It's all about cash. And I'm going like, all right. Well, Dad I met across the street from me was a great individual. He was a rabbi. Where's my rabbi? There he is. All right? And what ends up occurring is, I went to the synagogue, so church on Sundays, synagogues, and I was a mixed breed. So what happens? Well, now I get the rabbi coming, he goes, Hector, third person was calling me that, and he says, it's not about the cash. And I'm going, oh, okay, I'm going to get something noble out of this thing. This is great. This is what I was looking for, spirituality thing. He's going, no, it's all about power. I go, what? He goes, yeah. It's all about power. He goes, do you know who runs the synagogues? I'm going, well, you do. You're the rabbi. He goes, oh, heck no. The women run the synagogue. And I go, what? He goes, yeah. Just remember, it's all about power. I go, okay, so now I'm confused. I got a Catholic priest telling me money, and I got my rabbi telling me it's power, and the women have it. All right, so I want you to understand that, because I don't want you leaving, because I gave you the hook, it's all about power and money, but I don't want you leaving with understanding that there's more to life than power and money. But don't forget, you can't do anything to help yourself without power and money. Now, you have the responsibility to yourselves and the university to achieve the goals that you set out to accomplish for the rest of your lives. This is important for all of you to understand, because if you simply become a mediocre person and mentally achieve results for yourself and humanity, then you literally waste your time with us at Mao. Your family, friends, and professors and the university spend much time and efforts instilling upon you those ethics to remain focused, challenge the status quo, and dissolve those forces that block your upward journey in life. Push them aside. Watch a little Tony Robbins. It'll be good for you. Thus, it is critical to change, to constantly strive to achieve continuous improvement in your personal, family, business, and in your community. Okay, now here comes the boring part, so get your coffee out. All right, take your little, the pills to get you woken up. Personal, by continuously improving yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. You're all started with the mentally. Where's my hot yoga instructor? By hot, I'm not talking, she looks great even though she does, but I'm talking about hot in the sense that it's really hot in there. When you do hot yoga instructions, don't you get a greater sense of vitality? Don't you get a greater sense of purpose? And it helps you focus. Am I right? Okay. Doesn't have to be hot yoga, but you got to do something physical. You got to get the body moving, okay? If not, you start getting weird like me. I get Alzheimer's sometimes, forget things, Now, this takes much introspection and emotional intelligence. For looking at yourself in the mirror of the mind is the hardest thing that you're going to face. That's right. When you wake up in the morning and you look up in the mirror and you ask yourself, what in heaven's name have I done yesterday that I could be proud of? What have I done yesterday that helped mankind and helped myself and family achieve the goals that I aspire to do? And if you come back with, I did nothing, then I refer you back to page number 6 of my wonderful little speech that says, don't be a mediocre, all right? Because you're wasting your time and your money. Now let's go to family. Family you can accomplish by always remembering that the locus, that's the center portion of it, of any great society is family. Family, am I right? Aren't you the most important thing in society? It's family. Because without family, there is no society. You ain't got anything. Right? So here are the little words of wisdoms on society thing. The family is your life support system. They're going to be the ones that are going to help you through the trials and tribulations of life. And you are going to face a lot of trials and tribulations. Oh my God, I faced a whopping of some of them. All right? Not only here in wonderful Miami in the 1980s with the cocaine cowboys trying to kill us, but I didn't like that one too much, so I go to Iraq and see what happens over there. Okay? It's a wonderful experiences that I have to deal with. But then, of course, the biggest one is how to keep a board of directors from going ahead, and it's like herding cats. All right, so it's tough. You have to go ahead and make sure that you take care of your family, because family is not forever. You're going to go ahead and lose some of them. Do you know why? Because there's 2 truths in life, aside from the power and money thing I just told you. Yes, you were born. Okay? Not from a test tube, we're not there yet. But yes, you were born. You're not from outer space, you're not E.T., and you didn't come from Area 51. All right? The second truism is yes, you're going to die. You're going to meet your maker, and you got to live with the fact that everything you did here, elders, and help your children. I want to stop there for a second and get off the script again, because that's something that really gets me. All right? And that is children. Some of you already have them, some of you are aspiring, some of you don't want anything to do with it. Okay, I respect all those 3 concepts. Take ownership. You brought a child to this planet, own it. If the child turns out to be a delinquent, own it. If the child ends up to be a druggie, own it. If the child turns out to be a wonderful human being, let us say, a professor, hey. All right? Yes, you want to own that one, okay? If your child becomes an ultra-millionaire, and I taught you, please remember to send me a postcard at Tahiti while I'm drinking my margarita, that your child became a multi-millionaire. I'll be very proud to go ahead and say, another one, another one. So, very important. Family always comes first. Now let's go to business. By the way, congratulations on your goals and attainment in business. That is outstanding. Way to go. See, now that's an example of what you can achieve. And you can achieve. Business is your constant pursuit of improving financial position, market share, and providing that clear direction and achieving the overarching success of the business. Remember that? I taught you that, yeah. Your management toolkit, by the way, mine gets bigger and bigger every day. I now have to have a little Raleigh going around. Includes, let's go, see if you can do it, planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. All right, you get an A. What you're doing is you're doing all these functions, which is the 4 functions of management, to control the various dimensions of any business you're involved in. Remember, we give you the theoretical knowledge, and in some cases we give you applicational knowledge, operational knowledge, and then you translate that into operational art. The only way you can do that is by looking at the policies and procedures and the vision and mission of the company that you're working for and moving it forward to the next dimension. Always remembering that change is a manifesto that you have to have, because if you don't have change, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'll say it anyway. If you don't have change, you will not evolve, and if you don't evolve, you're going to die in the vine. I'll skip that section so I don't bore you again. Now, community. And please, get another sip of coffee, because out of my little whole speech, this is probably the one that's most important. Community means you are involved in your synagogue, churches, organizations, cities, states, and countries. As ancient Chinese proverb once said, actually it was a curse, it was not a proverb. Everybody says, oh, it's a proverb, but in reality, it was a curse. And the curse says, may you live in interesting times. Oh. It's my premise that we are living in times where we need to ensure that our views, beliefs, and rights are not routed by people who portray themselves as saviors of the masses. If we don't engage with our community, these forces will be allowed to be the corruptors of societies and our economies. The only thing I can tell you is, remember Cuba, and for God's sakes, remember Venezuela, because they turned out to be models of destruction. If you want to know how a country can go down in flames, well, those are the 2 models. We used to say Russia, but not anymore. Now it's those 2 are the models of how not to go ahead and allow countries to be. Now, I'm an American citizen. Surprise. All right? But I immigrated from a small country that went down in flames called Cuba, and grew up in the city of Miami. Yes, that, believe it or not, the city of Miami is still a part of the United States. All right? Well, you got to understand why I say that, because when I was here about, a lot younger than you all, the only thing we saw on the bumper stickers were, well, the last American, please bring the flag. All right? And when we go to downtown, all right, to eat my pizza in Woolworths, it's, we hablamos español. Now we put signs that says, we speak English. What a transformation, okay? I give thanks to the Almighty for my life and cherish every moment that it was provided me, and I encourage you to do so. The good, the bad, and the ugly truth of life, and I've seen a lot of ugly truths, will continue in my journey in life. After all, that's the only way we learn. I also give thanks to this great country for providing my family and I with the ability to achieve everything or anything we put our minds to. This belief in the United States is born from certain key principles. I was taught the history of our country, this country, and its culture. Americanism, how it was founded, who founded it, why it was founded. In other words, I assimilated into the United States and into the culture and helped develop the culture, because the culture always changes. Remember I told you, if you're not a change master, then you're going to die on the vine? Well, that's the beauty about this country. Its culture can change. That's why Miami, I have to remind people, it's still part of the USA. All right, so during my time in high schools, we professed the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States, just like we did here. Okay. We said our daily prayers, and then, of course, commenced with the grueling scholastic journey that we all go through. We didn't blame the United States for our failures or our lower middle income class life, which is where I started off at. Right? My food supply was going to Estelito Lindo and getting them a little meat of Spam with the milk. You know, the milk was actually made out of, I don't know what, but they called it milk once you put water in it. Didn't taste like milk, but hey, the cheese and all, that's what I grew up with. Right? My dad worked in cutting sugarcane when he came here. That's what he did. He cut sugarcane. And my mom was a seamstress. Afterwards, he graduated and became a union member, and he did the roller in asphalt. And he did asphalt rolling for the rest of his life. He told me, son, if you become an asphalt roller, that'll be the worst time of my life. And I says, why? And he goes, he actually said H-E-L-L of a job. All right? And I, all right, Dad. He said, get an education. Go to college. And then what I do, I joined the Army after I went to college. Because I figured it this way. All right? I want to have the adventure, see the world, and enjoy the adventures, go, be all you can be kind of thing. But if, let's see, I get paid as a E1 private or get paid as a second lieutenant. Okay, remember what the priest taught me? Mm-hmm. Okay, it's all about the money. It's all about the power, all right? So guess what? E1, nah. Lieutenant first, second lieutenant, okay, more money, more power, and I have a whole bunch of people that can come at. So that's where I went. I strive to always improve myself and the company that I'm running at the time. I'm proud to say that I'm continue trying and will only stop when I'm called upon by the Almighty to rest my tools of life and go to that spiritual building, that house I make with no hands, but is eternal in heaven. At least I'm hoping that's the direction I'm going. As new graduates, it's your turn now to lead, manage, and inspire organizations and this country to greater heights. Remember to listen to those, like I said, who are wiser. And never forget your roots. Never forget your roots. The day you forget your roots, that is the day you lost. Always bring value to your life and to those who you touch and cherish. Remember your classmates. You're going to get a diploma now. It's a beautiful parchment, properly suited for framing, and you're going to frame it, and you're going to be very proud of it. And that parchment says that you, like I told you, hey, you went through hell to go ahead and get an education. But you know what that parchment actually means? And some of you I've told this already in the class. It means that if you don't help yourselves, because look around you, please do that for a moment, because you're going to forget your faces pretty soon. Look around you, look at your faces. Right? Not the people over there, you among yourselves, look at your faces. Without your help or helping each other, that parchment means little. When you help yourselves achieve success, that parchment means a lot. So if you get a job someplace, hint, right? If you get a job someplace where you have the ability to hire somebody from Mao, do it. How the heck do you think Harvard people do it? How the heck do you think Yale people do it? It's that way. It's called networking. Right? So you now are part of the Mao family. Take it to the next level and become the entrepreneurs, become the vice presidents, the CEOs, chairman of the boards and all sorts of companies, but hire your Mao. All right? Because that's the way you make your parchment valuable. Not that you paid for it, it's what you do with it and what you make of it. So on behalf of the faculty, which I'm representing, thank you for letting me do that. It has been a pleasure serving you as your professor and your mentor. We hope that you achieve all successes that you strive for in your life. And I guess the Macau went. I was hoping the Macau would be here because I was going to, you know what I'm saying. Because we want you to fly proudly into your lives as the Macau does in the spirit of our university. Thank you.